Hello guys, and welcome. I am the over-enthusiastic horror guy here, and welcome to this week's video. Now, as I've said in my previous video, I plan on looking for the worst horror films possible and try and find good points and bad points about them. Well, 2 days ago I watched one that not only was a really bad movie, but definitely contender for the worst horror film I've ever seen. So today, I'm talking about Tales from the Quadead Zone. From the brains behind the Black Devil Doll from Hell, we have Tales from the Quadead Zone, an anthology horror film with two tales of unspeakable terror, as it makes us out to believe, when in actual fact it is two tales of utter boredom with the worst quality I've actually seen in a horror film since Black Devil Doll from Hell. I mean, look at it. It's utter pants. So you're probably asking yourselves, so what makes this movie so bad? Well, here's a couple of examples for you.
If you like your terror adult and strong, welcome here, you can't go wrong. Dolls will kill, the dead will too. It's all right here to entertain you.
I couldn't play any more for you guys. I don't want to poison your ears any more than you have to. I mean, just listen to that. It's just monotonous as all hell, and that voice just grates on you after a while. And the whole opening credits is like that. The theme just goes on and just doesn't seem to end. So the film actually starts with a woman doing her dishes, and then she just turns around and starts talking to the ghost of her dead son, Bobby. Now, throughout the film, we don't actually know how Bobby dies, but it's not something you really want to know, you know? And she's saying, as soon as I've done the chores, I'll read you a story, Bobby, but please don't break that cup because Mummy ain't rich. And then it just starts getting really weird from there. And this happens, I might add, every single time the ghost actually speaks to his mum. Okay, this happens. I can't explain it, but this happens.
Yes, son. I'll tell you a story.
No, seriously, that is actually a hairdryer blowing at her face. I had to read about it myself. So our first story is called Food For, and it's about a strange religious type family of 8 that only seem to have enough food for a certain amount each night, and every time this little weird bell thing rings, they have to scramble for food. And this particular evening, it's food for 4 to feed 8. But if you have a look in a second, there's 4 sandwiches. I mean, that is the weirdest goddamn bread I've ever seen as well. It's so smooth, it's strange. But what they should actually have done is just, cut the sandwiches in half and then all have a sandwich each. It's not that difficult. Morons. We're now on to the second night, and there's now only enough food for 5 out of the 8. So older brother gets a little bit pissed off with it now. He just can't take any more. So take a guess what he does here, people. Yep, goes himself, gets a gun. But I mean, look, look at the reactions. It's brilliant. Absolutely glorious. Oh, okay, so it may have been a bit of a lie when I said there's no good points in it. I mean, I don't know, it's a family massacre, but it's so goddamn funny. So we're on to our second story here, which is called The Brothers, and the guy you see with the box there had paid 2 criminals to steal the body of his brother from a morgue. And his brother wasn't all that nice to him growing up when they were kids, so he thought he'd get a little bit of revenge on him in death that he couldn't do in life, so, he does what any other brother would do in that situation and decides to dress him up as a clown to bury him in it. As one final insult and act of revenge, he decides to bury his brother underneath the house. But what he doesn't really know is things are about to go south for him really quickly. As you can see, the ghost of his brother inhabits his old body and then comes back from the dead, as you could probably realise, and then it just goes even crazier from here. I mean, you gotta hear how this Joker talks, it's hilarious. I say again, what?
So the last half of the film now is just our lead actress's boyfriend turn up and start giving her a lot of crap about how she's going back to her crazy ways and reading stories to her dead son again. And well, the reason I haven't actually shown the ending of the previous two stories is, guys, because if you have the patience or you really want your, curiosity satisfied, I dare you to watch this movie. But right now I'm trying not to spoil overly much, but this fight does actually go on for quite some time and it is a bit of a scuffle. So I'm going to try and cut it down as best as I can so you don't have to sit through the whole thing. But in the end, I think you might know what's going to happen.
So what do you mean so fucking what, you crazy bitch?
And you probably guessed it right, she stabs him to death and then stands over him howling like she really needs to go for a pee. Now, there's a lot more again to this fight, but I'm trying to cut it down because it goes on for so long. But Bobby's ran upstairs, so now she's going up to check on him. And as you're about to see, the knife that she uses is clearly a joke prop knife from any joke shop for about £1. So now she's going to go up and check on Bobby, and he's not actually dead. He does reach the phone in time and he's going to call the cops, and the cops are going to show up and they're about to take her away. But as they're about to take her away, we get this little moment. And she's pretty much doomed because, she's just killed a guy and there's two cops waiting to arrest her. Only thought going through her head is just being with her son, and it does give us this beautiful little montage part here. Again, it is much longer, so I'm going to try and cut it down as best as I can just so you can see the nicer bits. But you can probably guess where she's going to be going with that razor blade though. But she's got nowhere else to go, and you can probably guess what she's going to do with that razor blade even before you saw her pick it up. Yep, she kills herself, as it's the only way she could really be with her boy. And that's the really saddest part in the whole movie, but then it goes from being quite sad and tragic to just insane. She only bloody comes back like a ghost, just like her wee boy, as it's the only way they can be together. Aww. Yay!
And there you have it, folks. Tales from the Quadead Zone. Now, rather than this being a video about finding good points or bad points about it, it's more of a warning. Do not watch this movie. It is not worth your time. The film only clocks in at 1 hour and 2 minutes, but it just feels like it goes on for 10 years. It's bad in every shape or form, and as you've seen, I wasn't lying to you either. So, hopefully I'll have a better one for you next time, but leave a comment below if you want to give me a request, and you'll get a shout out in the next video as well. So, yeah, I would say hope you enjoyed this one, but I'd be lying to you if you did. And I will catch you on the next one.